Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. Today, we're going to be talking about WWE's Money in the Bank 2025 show that's going to be coming to you live from Los Angeles. Most people know that I live in California. Every single time there's the show in California, for the longest time I was asked, are you going to be going to SummerSlam? Are you going to be going to Raw? It's like those shows are in Los Angeles and, San Diego. And, most people don't know that California is really long. And basically, even if I was to jump in my car and drive to LA, it is easily probably an 8-hour drive nonstop. For most people, you're going to do it in 9 to 10. You stop to get gas, stop to get food, stop to stretch your legs a little bit along the way. It is possible to be able to do that drive. And then honestly, I made the drive from Los Angeles to San Diego one time in my life. I will never make that drive again in my life. That drive was as long as the drive that was from Sacramento all the way down to Los Angeles. Just too many people, way too much traffic. I wish I was going to this show. I really wish I had an unlimited amount of money to be able to head over to this. But when tickets first went on sale, I understand that it's at a new arena where the Los Angeles Clippers play. For one, I'm surprised that they're able to do it. Number two, I'm surprised that the Clippers are not like throwing some sort of a stink. I've seen that the shirts that they're going to be selling for John Cena, they're actually going to be purple and gold, and they're going to be Lakers colors. I would have thought that the Clippers would have been like, no Lakers clap in our arena. We're only going to be selling the red, white, and blue Clippers colors. And I think that honestly, the shirts look awesome. They look really, really cool. I know that Cena has sort of taken on the sports theme of each and every city. When he was in Knoxville for SmackDown, I have not picked it up yet, but I want to get a Tennessee orange John Cena shirt. I will put it with my red one. I will put it with my what was the one for Vegas? Was it black? I know they had the black and gold one that I ended up not getting, because I'm like, I already have this other Las Vegas shirt. I don't need to have two of them, even though this commemorates 17 times as a champion for John Cena. But I wish I was overly ecstatic about this show. I think at one point I was very, very excited for this show, but for some reason, I just have kind of lost it a little bit. Main event is just a normalized tag match. It has two of the best gimmick matches that there is in WWE. Not only do you get a ladder match that will conclude with somebody being the winner, then that winner basically for the next period of time, every single time you're thinking about what's going to happen on Raw, what's going to happen on SmackDown, what's going to happen on now Saturday night's main event, what's going to happen on the upcoming pay-per-view. You have to think, like, what is the champion doing? Is the champion going to be put in some sort of a position to where this Money in the Bank winner could come out on top and steal a championship? It's always fun when it's sort of like a mid-carder that has the Money in the Bank that is like, on the bridge of like getting to that main event spot. Most people think about like when Dolph Ziggler cashed in at the Raw after WrestleMania 29, how big of a moment that was, how huge the pop was. People loved Dolph, and people wanted Dolph to get that spot. It just sucks that once he got the championship, he suffered a concussion. He was forced to lose the belt without actually losing it in a match. And he kind of never, ever really got back to that spot again. Like Finn Balor, when he won the Universal Championship at SummerSlam for the first time. It's almost like you're a champion, you have an injury, you're not able to compete. They kind of label you as an injury guy for your rest of your time, and you're not able to really crash the mountain. As of right now, there's only 4 matches for the show. We've got Cody and Jey Uso going up against John Cena and Logan Paul. We've got a men's Money in the Bank, a women's Money in the Bank, and as of right now, we've got Lyra Valkyrie going up against Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I understand that Cody and Cena are SmackDown guys. Jey Uso and Logan Paul are Raw guys. So that match kind of equals each other out. We've got the women's and the men's match basically having a mix of both in there. Your Lyra Valkyrie versus Becky Lynch is a Raw match. So is SmackDown going to get this other match that's going to be there? I'll throw this out to you. As the end of Raw was coming down, and just basically everybody was fighting everybody. We had Big Bronson Reed in there. We had Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles. When AJ jumped to the outside, I was like, dude, this isn't even your fight. This is mostly about Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, CM Punk. It was almost like they were setting up some sort of a 3-on-3, almost like War Games would be right around the corner. Finding a way to, if we have 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 and something like that. But I was kind of really surprised that CM Punk wasn't booked for this show. We have Worlds Collide happening earlier in the day before Money in the Bank. And is he going to be there? Is he going to be an announcer? Is he going to do something maybe on the pre-show? When he was injured, he sort of filled in as that role that people like to see him around. He's a really, really big name. It's just kind of really surprising that they're going to give Punk maybe the weekend off or something like that for a big LA like pay-per-view. Now, I know they're doing like mini meet and greets, much like an Access. I don't know if Punk's on the list, so they're kind of giving it away. But I was almost wondering like why we're not getting a Punk and Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker tag match. I thought that would add a lot of names. You would throw these guys into the mix. I don't know if that's the last match that's going to be named. I do know that when you go over, you look at SmackDown, you've got Vega. She could put her United States Women's Championship on the line. Maybe they could have a tag team match. Both of those titles in the tag division are both looking really strong. That would add to it. But kind of 5 seems like the maximum number of matches. Or maybe they're not even adding a match. Maybe these Money in the Bank ladder matches are going to be almost hour-long affairs, and it's going to soak up most of the time for the show. And they're just looking to go out there and just throw up straight classics. So I'm not telling you that I'm excited about it. I can guarantee you, I think it's 4 o'clock on the West Coast. I'll double check to be 100% sure. I know I will be sitting on my couch in order to watch this show. There's going to be plenty of pops. There's going to be plenty of surprises that come along during this. One of the biggest things that is going to come up during this this pay-per-view is, I bet Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul is going to be your main event match of a pay-per-view. Logan Paul in a main event. Yeah, we're at that place in 2025. I basically, in the last month to 2 months, have became one of the biggest Logan Paul fans when it comes to the world of wrestling. I just flat out say I don't really know anything that he does outside of wrestling. He can do whatever he wants to as long as he shows up on Raw, as long as he keeps showing up on these pay-per-views, and just blowing my mind. The guy can wrestle. The fact that John Cena wants to go out there and wrestle with him means that he's trying to put over the people of tomorrow. I've seen a few interactions between the two. WWE put up the video when they were at the Raw in LA for the first Netflix Raw, and at that time Logan Paul, I think, was starting the rumor that they were going to do Paul versus Cena at WrestleMania, and Logan Paul was telling Cena that he would love to work with him one day. We might not ever get a one-on-one match, but here we are teaming together, putting over the guy for tomorrow. I think this is going to be a damn good show, and come the end of this show, no matter what, your WWE champion, your World Heavyweight champion are both going to be in the ring when you've got your men's Money in the Bank winner waiting in the wings. Now, things get sticky, and we'll come up to it when we get to that point. But if you really think about it, Gunther already has a guaranteed match against Jey Uso on Monday. More than likely, if anybody takes any kind of damage in this match, Jey Uso is going to be banged up. Coming off of the promo in the back with Gunther, basically talking about how big of a friend he is. He's selfless. He puts everybody in front of himself. But, you know, when it comes down to it and you need help, who's going to be there to help you? If Seth comes out to cash in on Jey Uso, wouldn't Gunther come down to cut off that cash in? I'm not saying that Gunther needs to turn babyface, but Gunther already has a shot come Monday. But why would he want to fight Rollins when he can fight and already beat up Jey Uso? So maybe that is something that could come, you know, building off of their sort of friendly conversation almost they had in the back. Yeah, I mean, you know, they took jabs at each other, but when it comes down to it, they were able to be in the same room, have a conversation, and nobody threw any blows. So that's the one thing to think about. In the end, I think honestly that Gunther should not be long for Monday Night Raw if we're going to have the reign of Rollins, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker. It doesn't really make sense to have a group of menacing heels and then have another heel that could beat up anybody at the same time. You know, you don't need to have the NWO be heel and then also have the Giant be heel of WCW at the same time, where they're not together. Both of them are fighting for different reasons, but, you know, you don't need to have... Somebody's got to beat somebody. You know what I mean? So Gunther moving over to SmackDown honestly would make a lot of sense to me. So maybe that is something that is coming in the future. But when it comes down to it, I think Cody and Jey Uso are going to get the win in their tag match. I think Seth Rollins is going to get the win in the men's Money in the Bank match. And then when it comes to the women's match, I don't know. I thought I had it pretty much all locked up, that Mommy was going to win this thing. I thought Rhea Ripley, you know, she got the big, you know, promo in the back last week, talking about being, you know, Mommy in the Bank and this, that, and the other. But Stephanie Bakir, she loses her NXT title. She moves to Monday Night Raw. In her first match on Monday Night Raw, she gets a promo describing who she is, where she came from, how long she's been a wrestling fan. And she goes out there and she wins her match. Her Raw debut wins her ticket to Money in the Bank. As of right now, I think Stephanie Bakir you're going to be your women's Money in the Bank winner. I think that would be an awesome story. Rhea Ripley, I understand that she's lost a few matches along the way. She's always looked like she's indestructible. But I think she's going to need to have like some sort of a look in the mirror, come to Jesus meeting, where she picks it up and turns it around. And she's always going to be a threat. Anytime you look at her, you think that she's going to be there. When it comes to the Women's Intercontinental Championship match with Lyra Valkyrie and Becky Lynch, Becky was a big star when I watched wrestling, and Becky was a big star as I faded out of watching wrestling. I know who she is. Lyra Valkyrie kind of snuck up on me in this last year where I've really dove back into wrestling. I'm not going to come on here and lie to you guys and tell you that I know tons about Lyra Valkyrie. People are picking her to lose this match and Becky to win because of the stipulation Becky Lynch made where she says that I will never challenge you for that belt again. I don't look at Lyra Valkyrie as somebody that they're pushing right now that is going to be the Intercontinental Champion until the end of days in WWE. Will she hold that title for a while? Will she hold that title more times than she has right now? Yeah, but I think she is going to move up the card. And when I heard Becky Lynch say that I would never challenge you for that title again, I think that she will challenge Lyra Valkyrie for the Women's Championship for Raw or SmackDown and be able to say that I said that championship, not that championship. So I'm picking Lyra to win this match. I don't know a ton about her, but I can tell that, you know, with the little bird chants, woo, as she comes out to the ring and her big costume, that she's awesome. I just don't know enough about her, haven't seen her enough. And that's 100% on me. I'm not saying that she's boring or bland or anything like that. It's just, I faded out of wrestling. I definitely wasn't watching NXT, and some of these women snuck up on me, and I need to see more of them. And on Saturday, come 4 o'clock, I'll be watching this. So we'll see. Money in the Bank. Let's go.